Good morning. I just started my day and I am going to show you how I combat overwhelm. Now, back before, when I would wake up in the morning, I would make a list of everything that needed done. Everything. I would get overwhelmed just by trying to figure out what to put on the list, right? That's not workable. So now I've started a new system. And in this system, I try to start my to-do list every day with 5 things. Now, that doesn't sound like much, right? 5 things? Really? And not just any 5 things. I try to find some things that are really physical, some things that are not physical at all, that I can do if I feel sick, that I can do if I feel tired, and maybe one in the middle. So today, I've checked the weather. Today starts out sunny and nice. About 3 this afternoon, we're supposed to start getting rain and maybe storms. So I have a really big goal of trying to get a bunch of seeds planted before the storm comes, because I'm really not a huge fan of watering my own garden. I really prefer for rains to do it for me. So in the old days, I would have written that down. Plant seeds. But now I've learned that that is a big task, and there are lots of little steps that go into it. It is really physical. So what I thought of is, okay, what is the first thing I'm going to need to do for that? What is the easiest thing? And there are lots of steps that are going to go into it, like figuring out what plants are best by the plants I already have, figuring out where everything is going to go, researching how tall some of the plants are going to get, what kind of bugs they draw, preparing all the ground, getting it cleared off. I mean, it's a big task, right? That's not how I want to write that down on my paper. So I thought of, okay, what is easy and quick to do in comparison? And I thought, okay, marigolds. I know where my marigolds are going to go. They're the only plant that I have a specific place for already, because I'm going to make a border of marigolds around my garden. Okay, so what's the first step I have to do towards that? I have to prepare the ground for the seeds. I have to get my hoe out and get the ground kind of tore up to put the seeds in. So rather than plant all the seeds, I'm starting with a small physical task, which is prepare ground for marigolds. Then, okay, I've got one really physical task. What's a task that I need to do that's not physical? I need to correct the captions on the video that I edited and uploaded yesterday. I just have to go in, read the transcript, fix any of the words that are wrong. It's not really long. It's annoying and tedious, but it's something I can do when I need a break from hoeing outside, or if I don't feel well or whatever. So, correct captions. Then, what else? When I look at what I want to start my list with, I think of what's already started and I just need to finish it, or what is something quick and easy that I can have on the list and knock it off really quick. I need to rotate laundry. But you know what? It's not that I need to rotate laundry as the starting point. First, I need to clean out a clothes basket. So I've got a clothes basket of socks that need to be put up. So I'm going to put on here, put up socks. Then that one's not very physical. What's another physical one I need to do? I need to harvest some more of my dill. My dill went out of control, and then because it grew up volunteer and it wasn't in any order, I couldn't put down my cardboard system to keep the weeds off, and so it's completely overridden by weeds. So I will harvest my dill and get it out of the ground, and then I'm going to plant more in a more organized fashion. So, but the starting point is harvest my dill. And then for number 5, I think an easy one would be to put up the dishes. I did some dishes yesterday, and I have the dishes out drying. So putting them up, it's pretty quick. And easy, not a lot of fuss. Yeah, so I've got my 5 things, right? Some that I can do if I feel really like physical and pumped. Some I can do if I feel super lazy. Some that I can do if I'm in between. So now I'm gonna go start one of these tasks. I'm looking at my energy. I don't feel really, I don't feel like I'm fully awake and caffeinated yet. So not ready to really go out and hoe the ground for the marigolds. So lower energy, I could correct the captions, or I could put up socks, or I could do both because I'm going to be sitting down while I'm waiting for the website to load and the captions to pop up on the screen. I could work on socks. All right, I'm going to go try and do those, and when I get back, I'll show you what happens next, because clearly I'm not just going to get these 5 things done in the day. That's not the goal. The goal is to get me up and moving and making progress and keeping it up all throughout the day. So I'll be back in a minute. So now I'm back, and I did complete those 2 tasks. I did put up the socks, and I've got my my clothes basket all cleaned out and ready, and I found a hair thing, which if you have long hair, you know, those are like gold, right? Right. So I found a crayon, I'll be honest. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy and motivated to check things off my list with a pretty color. Today I chose purple. I feel purple. So I'm gonna check that off. And I also corrected my captions. Going to check that off. And now I'm going to put 2 additional things on my list to replace them. Let's see, so I corrected my captions. The next thing I need to do for my video is I need to make a cute little thumbnail image to go with it. So, create thumbnail. And to replace the socks, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to rotate laundry. I've got some in the dryer, some in the washer, and I'm going to start another load in the washer after I rotate. So, rotate laundry. All right, I'll be back again. So, that worked really well. I went downstairs, I rotated the laundry, but first I realized, shoot, I need to gather up the laundry, right? So I gathered up all the dirty laundry from upstairs, tossed them down the laundry chute, then I went and I rotated the laundry. So, because it's something I did and I should give myself credit for it, I'm going to add to the list, gather dirty laundry. And check it off. I also rotated laundry. I did not do the thumbnail. I have too much energy for that now. I don't feel like it. So I think next I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna prepare the ground for marigolds. So now you see kind of how this works. I'm going to continue working on this through the day. I'm not gonna make you watch all of that. But I'll show you tonight, or at some point in time later in the day, how it's looking. All right, see you later. I'm back. It's about 9:40 at night. I just got in a few minutes ago from working in the garden, and I came to show you what I accomplished. Because one cool thing about this is when you're starting your 5 things, some of the time you find one and you really get a rhythm and you power through a lot of tasks. So today I started with some basic things on my list: putting up the dishes, harvesting dill, rotating laundry, working in the garden, and things like that. And I did most of them. The only thing from this morning that's left on my list is putting up the dishes. And I just didn't finish. Started that when I was cooking dinner. However, I went out to the garden and I was trying to get things planted before it started to rain. But it didn't rain at all. Still hasn't rained. So I ended up basically using the bulk of this time to plant things. And by plant things, I planted marigolds, 2 sets of marigolds seeds, 3 sets of calendula, 1 pack of Sweet William, 1 of chamomile, 1 of candy tuft. Actually, I think I planted something else, not the candy tuft. I labeled that wrong. 2 things of basil, 2 things of cilantro, and like I said, I feel like there's another flower I planted. Oh, bachelor's buttons. It wasn't candy tuft, it was bachelor's buttons. And I pulled a ton of weeds. And what else did I do? I got the things in the dehydrator out. Sorry, I'm gross. I haven't showered yet. I'm going to do that when I'm done with this video. Cooked dinner. I got the seeds off of my dill heads so that I can either use them as seeds or I can use them as a spice. I refilled my dehydrator. I harvested some chamomile. I harvested some bachelor button flowers. You can use those in tea. Yeah, I got a lot done, and I don't think that I would have had I not used the list today, because it really just gave me some motivation to try and do a little bit of this thing and that thing until I found something that I really had the right energy for. However, I'm exhausted. I pulled a ton of weeds. Everything in my body is going to hurt. I totally overdid it today. But it was a good kind of overdoing, so now I'm gonna go take a shower and probably watch some anime. And if you have tips about how you handle being overwhelmed, or what your system is to organize your task, I would love to hear it below. And South Florida Sunshine probably would too. She inspired this chat with a live that she did last Friday talking about Overwhelm. So I will link that in the comments. Go check that out. And I hope you have a great day. Eat something wild.